Hello YouTube, Team The Locker here doing a long-awaited deck profile of my Anti-Meta Beast Control. Now, the reason I made this deck was the 1 being Insectors and 2 being Insectors, because that's the most popular deck in my shop. And this deck does very well against Insectors. If it loses, it's because it draws fucking nothing and they draw nuts. Now, also, this deck is like 20-0 against Heretics. So, it's really good against that too. Windups, it does alright. And it could be one because it can't loop because you really never have a hand. And Dino Rabbit, it's like 75-25 in favor. Because like I'm just always bringing something they have to negate. And so yeah, so the deck's really not that well tested against heroes. But it's done well. I mean, like it doesn't get rammed. The only thing this deck gets rammed by is 6 Sams at the moment. Because it just spams so fast. So I'm gonna show you the deck. I'm gonna show it in sections. I'm gonna explain it as well as I can, but I'm not gonna go into complete mechanics because I don't want people running it. Really, because like if someone's gonna break out with this deck, it's gonna be me, hopefully. So yeah, let's get started with the deck. It's 40 cards. The side deck's not really finished. Okay, so right now it's the heart of the deck. 3 Super Nimble Mega Hamsters and 3 Raikos. Now, obviously, the hamsters are gonna get out the Raikos. This helps the field control, because you can destroy their stuff, and you spam monsters. And one of the best hands, monster-wise, you can draw is just a Raiko and a Super Nimble, because you set Super Nimble to get out a Raiko, and then you set the other Raiko, and then like. Usually, you'll have something to stop if they try to go shenanigans on you. And what's good is if you can flip both Raikos, you can go into Gachi, which is a great play in this deck. And if you mill the next card I'm about to show you, well then you can go into Gachi Utopia. And that's Chain Dog, which is like the greatest card ever. And then you also got Flame Tiger, which is from the new set, which is what I was waiting for. Also in this category. Now, what he does is when 2 B-side monsters on the field, special summon it from the graveyard. And when it's sent to the graveyard, when it's removed from the field, remove it from play. And what this guy does is when you control no monsters, instead of drawing, special summon it to your side of the field. And when it's removed from the field, banish it. Now, you're probably wondering, why would you want this card to get banished? Well, you don't fucking banish it. You overlay. Okay? If you draw him, it's kind of bad. But if you draw him, he's an 18 beater, so it's okay. So, like, if you have a beast in hand, these 2 in grave, it's stupid because you can special summon him, normal summon the beast, special summon him, overlay, depending on the situation, go into Utopia or Photon Pavloviv, and like it helps with the field control. This is graveyard. That was field for you and your opponent. This is even more field control. 2 King Tigers. I mean, all the stuff in here except Raiko and Super Nimble Mega Hamster is over 14 attack, and even then you're setting the other 2. And it fucks up Insectors big time. And then you got some hand control and some synchro ability with 2 X-Abreo Bellums. This guy makes people use Fiendish Chains and Bottomless Trap Holes and Solemn Warnings if they have it because they don't want to lose their hand. So, if he doesn't get his effect, they usually waste a card. And if not, I can synchro, which is broken. And if I'm out of Raikos, I can just go into him with Super Nimble Mega Hamster. Now we have 3 hand traps, 2 effect railer. There's no space for 3. I can go 2 and that's pretty much it. And then one of my favorite cards in this deck, Green Baboon, Defender of the Forest. Now, this 2 torrentials, 1 dark hole, smashing grounds. I mean, there's black roses. I don't know if I mentioned dark holes, probably did, but there's a lot of cards, Mirror Force, that really just fuck you up. That your opponent has that can destroy you. Now, what this guy does says fuck you to that, and bitches be crazy with this guy. Like, no one expects him to be played. So when you play him unexpectedly, you know, like it's gores on crack, because people will expect gores, but they will not expect to remember it. So that's the monster lineup. Now the spells is pretty simple. 3 Mystical Space Typhoon. Is the camera changing color? 3 Pot of Duality. Because you rarely special summon on your turn. So 2 Forbidden Lance. That's another card that just can't find a room to make a third. 1 Dark Hole. 1 Reborn. 1 Book of Moon. And 1 Mind Control. Lets you XYZ, and this can let you use an effect twice. It's just stall. And Dark Claw Master Reborn are just staples that everyone should have. So that's the spell lineup. Pretty basic for the deck. Any deck, actually. Now the trap lineup. 3 Horn of the Phantom Beast, because the deck needs some draw power. So you use these when you can, just so you can have additional cards in your hand. I am looking for one more hollow one. Triple Fiendish Chain. And you do this just so your opponent, just for control, so your opponent can't do anything. It also shits on the sectors. 2 Deep Prison and a Mirror Force. I don't like the Mirror Force. I'm probably going to take it out for a Bottomless. But if I play 1 Bottomless, I kind of want to play 2. So I may do 2 Bottomless and a Deep Prison. But, and then you have 1 Solemn Warning, because Solemn is fucking broke. And then 1 Starlight Road, because you do play a lot of traps and quick plays. And so it would be really smart to protect them. So that is the main deck. Now we go into the extra deck where it starts getting a little nutty. I'm probably not going to show the side deck just because it's not finished. Okay. For the level 5 synchros, you got 1 Thunder Unicorn and 1 Allied Justice Catastor. What he does, level 5 beast. You need a beast type tuner and a non-tuner monster. And you can increase this card's attack. Select 1 monster your opponent controls. It loses 500 attack for each monster you control until the end phase. During the attack, this effect is activated. No other monsters can attack except this card. Now, if you can use this correctly and spam your field, and your opponent has that 1 basic that you just can't get over, you go into Thunder Unicorn, and let's say you have 2 other monsters on the field. It's 3 monsters. You're gonna lose 15. Sure, he's the only one to attack, but you give it to the beater. And Allied Justice Catastor is just really good. But there's only 1 level 6 Synchro, since you very rarely go into them, and that's Brio. Just, you know. You got 3 level 7s, since it's usually the one you go into. You got 1 Black Rose for Desperation, but normally you go into Voltic Bicorn. And what this does is when it's destroyed by your opponent's by battle or by your opponent's card effect, each player mills the top 7. And usually, I mean, this, I know what you're thinking, but it can help in sectors. It could, but it hasn't yet. So, be that as it may. And it's also a 2500 beater. So it can suicide with Stardust and like Utopias if they don't like, you know, stuff like that. For level 8, you got double Stardust. 1's for the road, obviously, and 1's just because if you need to go into a Stardust. And 1 Scrap Dragon. And you have the 1 Mistworm. 4 4 XYZ monsters. You have 1 Gachi Gachi just because you have 3 Raikos. Is that really easy to go into sometimes? You have double Utopia. 1 Utopia Raid just if you really desperation for, or maybe even a Mind Control Utopia. Put C39 on it, and then get to keep it. And then from the new set, 1 Photon Papalip. I just call it Papaliviv or Papaliviv. I don't know. And this card is really fucking stupid. It's a 2100 attack, and you can detach 1 level 4 monster. Detach 1 level 4 monsters that it's under it. And one of your opponent's defense position monsters is put in attack mode, and they lose to 600. So, I mean, even if it's like a Raikou, it makes it use the effect. Snow Maneater makes it use the effect. If your opponent's just fucking stalling with Spirit Reaper, bring her out, put that shit in attack mode, and I beats it. It kills John Duo, too. So, that is the extra, and the extra and the main. Now for the side deck, I'll show you what that's definitely going to be in it. It's going to be 2 Chain Disappearance, 2 Prohibition, 2 Bombless, but I'm going to try to work those in the main deck. I need 1 more Shadow Imprisoning, so it's going to be 2. 2 DD Crow. And then the other stuff is going to be like 2 Mask of Restricts, 2 Closed Force, and that's all I know right now. So that is the deck. Tell me what you think. I couldn't, like I said, I'm not going to explain completely how it runs, just because, you know, if someone's going to be amazing with that deck, it's going to be me and nobody else. Or you can message me and, like, if you want to play on Dueling Network, I can show you that way. We can play on Dueling Network, and then if you can kind of pick it up from there, how it runs, just give me a message. Team the Lockhart's out.